Can never understand the feeling I have. Amy wants my attention. Alan wants my attention. My kids wanted my attention. Everybody wanted me to do what they wanted. And I just realized it related back to when I was 7. And it's an arrested development. And it's hopelessness. It's also an engram. I needed security and to be able to say no. But I couldn't. He wanted my attention and do what he wanted. He wanted me to do what he wanted. And he wanted my attention. He wanted approval. So it's a bad experience. So it's how does that play out as an adult? The people that I love in my life, they want attention. Healthy attention, but they want attention. But my mind is associated that same kind of attention is that I'm going to get hurt. My body goes through so much. It's in the large intestine. It's under overtime hopelessness. And my liver, it's overtime hopelessness. My stomach, overtime hopelessness. That's why I'm not able to handle and process my food. I haven't been able to process that attack. It's not even an attack. I was unable to process what had happened, what all took place. It's not just one thing where I can pinpoint and say it's this. I was unable to process spiritually. I asked, was I able to process physically? At the time, no. Over time, have I processed, now as I'm 52, have I processed physically? Yes and no. Because it depends on the spirit. Have I processed spiritually? No. And that is the process I'm doing right now. Have I processed emotionally? Yes. Have I processed mentally? Yes. But I haven't been able to process spiritually. And the spiritual aspect is that it doesn't make any sense as through ego. But everything equals the same. There was that moment, good or bad, it all equals the same. The experience of what happened, I just freaked out. I mean, you don't want stuff like that to happen. So how does it show up in a live meditation? It shows up, this bad experience with this man. He gave me attention. We had fun. It was my birthday party and the other girl's birthday party, and the guy reminded me of my brother. So he felt safe and fun. But it wasn't like that towards the evening. And the fun turned into something it shouldn't have. But the energy was that he wanted attention. And how does that moment show up? With my kids when they were little, with my loved ones today. They want attention. I will give it 100% because that's how I've grown myself into being, because I think they deserve it. That's just how consistent and devoted and loyal I am. But inside, it's like I can't explain what's happening in my physical body because part of me just wants to say, no! I feel like I got to protect myself. And I feel like I have to withhold my energy. Oh, I don't want to say that. I have to withhold my love. No. What am I withholding? The way that the energy exchanges, the oscillation. And I know that even though they're innocent, I feel it as bullying. My body does. The cells do. I begin to feel awkward and fine. I then go into a program. And so the energy inside me changes. And it makes things incompatible, compatible. It just throws the energy completely off. And I go into my identity. I become very self-conscious of right and wrong. Well, the right thing to do is be with them. It's wrong with me to feel this way. I can feel their pains and aches, and because they feel me pulling away, and I can feel the incompatibility, and it hurts because my body's like going, but they love you and they need you. And then any issues they may have, it just amplifies it so that I feel like I have to correct myself. And I don't want to give disapproval because that's not what I'm doing. And it all goes back to that 7 years old when I gave I just disapproved of the whole thing. But I couldn't, at the time, I didn't know what was happening. And as I was disapproving of what was happening, I felt like I wasn't efficient enough to say no, to fight back, because I had to obey. I had to be the good girl. And the more they expanded themselves, the more my energy reacted to contract and go into the strategy of trying to survive by the means of I have to live through others, because that's what it was when I was growing up. And I could feel their energies invading my space. And this is when growing up, as well as, that's my story, as well as, so in that moment, I could feel his energy invading my space. And it became so excessive that it manipulated me. It made me freeze. It made me unable to think. Arrested development came right into play. And I couldn't think my way out of a paper bag. I didn't know I could say no. I didn't know I could fight back. I didn't know. And I got lost in the words. I got lost in their gestures and story that, again, goes back to when I programmed myself as a little child that I had to behave a certain way. In order to gain my freedom, I had to live through whatever it is that they have to do, throw tantrums, throw whatever, but, to survive, to get on the end, because it's a strategy. So then the vibration drops really low, and then that pulls me down, and then my auto response when I was little kicked in. And even though I disapprove of it, I have to smile and let the strategy play out. And living through what where the invading energy is asking for attention, I have to behave. And then I contract my energy, because I know at any moment they could hurt me. It's not true of my kids and my loved ones today, but my body does not know that. My body only knows of the program. Oh, my stomach hurts so bad right now. And so I have to give myself false self-assuredness. And my spirit may feel dampened, but I have to go there. So I contract my spirit. It's like the video I watched today. It's like I need to break up with worry and doubt and make friends with faith. And when you embody that faith and that spirit, your spirit can be strong. and it can overcome everything. And at this point, my spirit was dampened. Hence, that's why I have problems with heat and humidity, and then I will have that inside my body, and that's a TCM constitution. I have to mentally change my frequency, so you're talking about different brain waves. And so I drop into, do I go to high beta or drop? It's like a low beta. It's interesting. It's not quite alpha or beta. But it's to convince myself. And so that's a set of instructions to do this. Whatever it is that's playing out. My ego is taken over. My authentic self's pushed aside. Because my little self is waiting for any second that they could act mean, because I've seen what a human can do, and the engram that everything equals everything is that it'll end up if this person can do it, so can this person. And if there's qualities that it's a male could do it. Brown haired people. Short haired people, if that makes any sense. So I stifle myself. I morph. And that becomes my karmic debt. I must play it out. And it gets very monotonous. And that bothers me. And I have to become passive aggressive. All because there was an incident when I was 2 that someone acted mean. A lofty energy. Invading energy. Bullying energy. Worrying energy. And then it throws off my circadian rhythms of my liver and my small intestine. And then it throws off my 5th and 6th chakra, the chakra in the back. And then it changes my vibration on the inside to be very low. And then it changes my octave of my frequency to be very low. And my peace disappears. I think it's time to go heal this.